Hello, good evening if you are watching. It is Wednesday, the 2nd of December 2020. This is the sports edition on Senbiance VIP Magazine, VIP TV, and I am your presenter, SEEDOU. SANNEH, thank you for joining us. In our today's edition of sports, we will be crossing over the line to speak with the president of Gambia Athletics Coaches Association, Mr. JAVIS Turner, who will be speaking to us as the athletes are in their intensive training at the Fajara Golf Course. Well, Mr. JAVIS, who was himself a former athlete, a jumper for that matter, will be telling us how is it been easy or hard to train with the athletes for over 2 months. Well, any moment from now, we will be speaking to JAVIS Turner. You are reminded that this is Senbiance Sports and proudly brought to you by Supersonic, the money transfer service agent in the Gambia. Hello, Mr. Turner.
Yes, good afternoon.
Mr. Turner, welcome to Senbiance.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be here once again.
Okay, first of all, I will want you to just say hi to my viewers here in the Gambia and abroad.
Okay, good afternoon, wonderful listeners from the Gambia and all over the world. It's your main man, JAVIS Turner, saying hi to each and everyone. And a wonderful thank you for joining with us or being with us.
We can't just be excited having you live. Mr. Turner, we go straight. We are talking about athletics in our today's edition of Senbiance Sports.
Okay.
You have been training with your athletes for over 2 or more months at the Fajara Golf Course.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us how have you gone with the training?
Yeah, as you just mentioned, due to the pandemic, we were able to have some kind of lapses, but we started training this is our 3rd month.
Okay.
And we were engaged in our pre-season, like general preparation to condition the athletes generally.
Okay.
And then we are now at the 2nd stage and the final stage of the pre-season, which is the special preparation. But right now we are facing some difficulties.
Can you come again?
We don't know when they will open the stadium so that we can start our normal programs.
Okay, right now you are at the 2nd phase of your training program, but can you confirm to us the number of athletes or the number of association of athletes that are presently training with you?
Yeah, right now I'm training with a team. They are national athletes, and you have some students too, because athletics, is diverse. You have sprints, long distance, middle distance, jumps, and throws.
Okay.
So right now I'm training with Team SANNEH, the head coach team, Maria Masala. Team is the team that I am training with, and then we have more than 30 athletes. I can say from 30 to 35 at that average.
30 to 35, knowing very well that it has to go with so many athletes traveling from a far distance to the Fajara Golf Course, of course. What are some of the difficulties you face in mobilizing those athletes, knowing fully well that they are not going to school?
Yeah, no, some of them are going to school. It's a mixed team.
Okay.
You have senior athletes and then you have students, and majority of them are even students. So the constraint we normally face is transport. Because as you mentioned, most of these athletes are coming from far away trying to condition themselves for the national team or for their various schools. But they are having less support from their families, from the association, from the ministry to take care of their basic needs in order to improve their performance. And these are basic needs.
Okay. Amen. You as the president of the coaches, we've seen you on several occasions training with the athletes as the head coach. How is, as you mentioned, there are certain constraints that athletes face, example, transport. How do you and your association working towards solving the problem of transportation with regards to the athletes traveling to their training destinations?
It's a very important and interesting question to the wrong individual.
Okay.
Let me just highlight.
All right.
Because you know that the main objective and duty of a coach is to prepare the athletes to improve their performance, either for results or for any other ulterior motive.
Okay.
So as of now, we as an association are trying our best to make sure that we have regional structures like other coaches, because athletics, if you look at it, it is mostly common within region 1 and 2.
Yes.
And which is sports for all. When we say centralization, we are talking about the 5-6 regions of the Gambia from Banjul to Koyen.
Yeah.
So we are trying to establish regional directors or regional representatives whereby we can have solutions to some of these challenges that we are facing.
Okay.
Because we are working under the Gambia Athletics Association.
Okay.
Gambia Athletics Association is for the Gambia.
Okay.
Directly under the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Yes.
When they know that, as I am talking to you, we all know that transport is something that needs to be facilitated when it comes to these youngsters who are embarking on athletics and trying to make their career.
Yeah.
And athletics is one of the sports that put Gambia right on the map, on top there.
Yes.
When you talk of gold medal in continental championship, you only talk of beach volleyball and athletics.
Yes.
But definitely, maybe with the new minister and this new
entourage,
maybe we can have some little bit of changes, but definitely we have been finding it very difficult, even if athletes qualify, for the government to pay tickets for them to go and compete. It's a problem.
Okay.
So there are so many official and administrative issues, with regards to athletics.
Okay.
And then we are trying our best to see how best we can tackle all these obstacles in order to have a better Gambian athletics representation in the whole world.
Mr. Turner, I would like us to highlight more when we talk about the transportation, because this has been thing of a cry with the athletes in the Gambia. We've seen one of the most successful athletes in the country, Gina Bass, in an interview saying, in the Gambia they call her a poor Olympian. Now you said that's a good question, but asked to a wrong person. You there as the mediator between the athletes and the body responsible for providing that transportation to the athletes. What will be your role in making sure that these athletes will have a conducive and transport made available for them to be transported from their destination to their training centers?
Yeah, definitely. It's not something easy, We have been knocking doors from the association, from the sports council to the ministry, everywhere. But as I told you, it's a bureaucratic process.
Okay.
When we raise our concerns and our concern to our association members, the secretary has to reach the executive members. And the executive members will sit and decide on how to embark on it and then read to the minister or the sports council.
Okay.
But definitely all these channels are not working the way they are supposed to.
Okay.
Because if at all they used to listen to us and see our pledges and hear our constraint, I guess it would have been better and then it will be facilitated easily. But definitely for us, we are doing our job at the ground.
Okay.
We are training athletes, we are improving their performances, we are taking them and exposing them to centers. If you see Gambia now, they have like 4 or 5 athletes at the high performance training center in West Africa.
Okay.
Which is business representation.
Okay.
Yeah, we have Gina Bass, we have Adama Jamne, we have Alu Juf, we have Kamara Nesta, and then we have Sengal Ju, who just joined them recently.
Okay, that's where we.
Yeah, most of the time they cater for these elite athletes.
Okay.
Right, starting from the grassroots, trying to make sure that the procedure or the process is a continuation.
Okay.
Because if you watch, it's primary school sports, secondary school sports, national championship and international. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. You are reminded that this is Senbiance Sports, the program brought to you by Supersonic Money Transfer Agent. If you want to send and receive money, you can bang on their doorstep to send and receive money from the United States, America, Canada, and the UK. That's where I want us to talk about the facilities, the training facility. You've said, Gambian athletes traveling to Dakar to train at the High Performance Training Center in Senegal. Again, I know you are not the right person, but what will be your suggestion or your response to the suggestion that it's high time Gambia have their own training facilities or centers which will cater for all the athletes irrespective of where they come from or which category they represent?
Yeah. That's very important. That's a very good question. You know, high performance training centers are established by IAAF, the International Athletics Association Federation.
Okay.
So in every continent, they divide the continent into 4 parts.
Okay.
North, South, East, and West. So like in Africa, the high performance training center is in West, for West Africa, is located in Senegal.
Okay.
Let me just give you a reason why they choose Senegal.
Yes.
We all know the level of Senegal in sports representation.
Yeah.
We all know the level of Senegal when it comes to qualified personnel to run their sporting association and their teams.
Yes.
So the problem Gambia is facing is not like, I might not say, it's not facility.
Okay.
Because in sports, wherever you have an area and environment, you can use it as a facility.
Okay.
If you don't have the adequate materials, you can improvise until you have it.
Yes.
But the main problem is human resources. That's the main problem of Gambian athletics and sports.
When you say
what are the qualifications of the people who are training our athletes?
Okay.
Who are training our sportsmen? Because sports is a science. It's not like an occupation whereby I will play football or I will run. When I retire, I decide to be a coach. I have to go and study.
Yes.
Because you must have to know how the body responds when it comes to physical activity, the systems.
Yes.
And the type of biomotor abilities that you need to develop when, where, how, and with who.
Yes.
So the advice and what I am always trying for is let us have physical education and sports in the University of the Gambia, which is the highest learning institution. We have it at the college, good. But after the college, the students, they don't have anywhere to further their education.
Yeah.
If we have it at the Gambia University or the government or the ministry can go to each region from region 1 to 5, select each region 10 youths, male and female, expose them to go and study and get the knowledge, come back and deliver.
Yes.
That is the way we can develop our sports. Look at the under 20. Who is waiting for the under 20? Matar.
Yeah.
Bosch is a very experienced, intelligent, and talented somebody. He did not play football and just retire from football and decide to be a coach.
Yeah.
He went for further studies and research.
Yes.
So you can always see the results improvement whenever there is an individual capable leading or guiding or teaching, like normally when we say it, so
wow.
So this is what we are facing in our Gambian sports. If you go to the schools level, whereby 70 or 75% of the Gambian sports athletes are from.
Mr. Turner, we would like to continue, but we work according to time, and I've been signaled that time has run out, and I think and I bet this interview will be repeated in our next edition. Finally, we are not ending it here, but what is your message for today before we resume in our next edition next week?
My message for today is I am appealing to our new minister, Honorable Bakari Baji,
yes,
to help us at least have sports and physical education in the university so that Gambians can graduate up to the highest level and come and deliver. If not, if there is no possibility, let them try and find a means of sponsoring students to go and venture for their career, like how lucky I was. I was on a scholarship and then I came back.
Yeah.
So if you can have like 4, 5, 6 in every region, every community, this is where the development is. If not, we are just wasting our money going to build stadiums. Who are going to train in those stadiums? Who are going to be the people using those stadiums? And thank you very much, and thanks to Supersonic for the time, and thank you, Mr. SEEDOU, and thanks to the wonderful listeners all over the world. Goodbye.
All right, thank you very much. That was JAVIS in our today's edition of Senbiance Sports. I remain your presenter, SEEDOU SANNEH, and be reminded that this program was made possible by the intervention of money transfer service, the Supersonics. If you want to enjoy the amazing experience it has to offer you, just download the app on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. In our next edition, we will feature again JAVIS, who is the president of Gambia Athletics Association, presently conducting a 3-month training exercise at the Fajara Golf Course. Bye-bye, thanks for watching Senbiance. Until I come your way in our next edition. See you.